Good afternoon, everybody. Let's try that again. Good afternoon, everybody. All right. It's great to be back here in Sydney and to be part of this year's symposium. I think most of you know that this is the first year we're bringing together the best of Symposium, which is our digital experience conference, and our Make It conference around creativity into one event. So bear with us. This is you guys are guinea pigs with me here. We like to think of this as a Reese's peanut butter cup, or maybe a better analogy here in Sydney would be the Tim Tam. Biscuits and chocolate united into one delicious experience. Okay. I'll stop right there, guys. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to speak directly to you, the creative community. To me, you represent a wondrous cross-section of artists, designers, photographers, illustrators, video creators, and we are all at Adobe, we're all deeply inspired by your work and your commitment. Our goal is to support you and to provide you the tools and services and resources to bring your creative visions to life and to make truly incredible experiences. And in line with today's event, to be an experience maker. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how we're expanding the Creative Cloud to make it even easier for all of you to do your best work. And I'd also like to shine the spotlight on a few individuals who are harnessing technology and innovation and their own personal ingenuity to create experiences that truly inspire us. When we talk about creating experiences that matter, let's take a step back and think about what that really means. It can mean experiences that are built to influence a client or a customer, or it can be experiences that are also there to allow us to connect with friends, to connect with community, to connect with family. But ultimately, an experience that matters will change the way that somebody thinks, feels, and acts. Photographs are one of the most powerful elements of any experience. Images are a part of a visual and universal language that crosses geographic and cultural barriers. It's impossible to refute the impact and the power of a beautifully crafted photograph. And as demonstrated by many of you in the room today, a photograph can convey tremendous emotion, and it can go a long way to bridge divides. It can truly make the world a better place. This is especially true when you look at the work of Karen Alsop, a local and truly amazing digital artist. Karen is an international award-winning photographer based in Melbourne who uses the power of Photoshop to bring story and art together and to place her subjects in magical environments. Right after my keynote today, we'll be hearing more about how she is bringing hope to children and families by making the impossible possible with photography. And it's artists like Karen and all of you in this room that inspire and motivate us at Adobe to push new boundaries and make powerful improvements to our products and technology. We're focused on delivering innovation that ensures that tools like Photoshop and Lightroom and the rest of the Creative Cloud work as a complete, seamless, multi-platform application system. In today's mobile-centric environment, it's essential that you're able to do your work whenever and wherever you want. Whether it's in the field or traveling to the next project or at your local coffee shop, we want to ensure that your best work can happen when inspiration strikes you and that you don't have to wait until you get back to your desktop to be creative. We're also very focused on leveraging the power of Adobe Sensei. That's our artificial intelligence and machine learning platform that we're building out. And our goal with Sensei is to let you work faster and with a greater breadth of creative expression. For example, over the past year, we've added several new features to Photoshop, including the Curvature Pen Tool, which is based on artificial intelligence technology, to quickly and intuitively create and edit paths within an image. And we also released Select Subject, which uses machine learning to automatically mask key subjects in the image and create that mask to let you get to work that much faster. We introduced Lightroom over a decade ago, and this is when digital SLRs were becoming mainstream. And photographers like yourselves were struggling with the challenge of organizing and editing vast collections of images. And since then, Lightroom has become the leading choice for any serious photographer on the desktop. But we didn't stop there. This past year, we introduced Lightroom Cc, and in it, powerful new capabilities that makes it even easier to work across surfaces. So as a photographer now, you can seamlessly sync all of your edits, all of your profiles and presets across desktop, mobile, and web. But perhaps most importantly, we've worked with all of you and your brethren back in the US and other markets, to the creative community, to secure your feedback, to understand your usage, to understand your insights, and that helps us keep pushing the tools and the platforms further that much faster. In fact, we get some of our best inspiration from the community. So when we launched Lightroom Cc, we thought, who better to tell the story than some of our favorite photographers? And so we sponsored more than 100 photographers across Asia Pacific and encouraged them to share their favorite photos edited in Lightroom Cc. So this group shared their top shooting and editing techniques with the community on Instagram. They also led photo walks across Australia, New Zealand, India, Taiwan, and other countries. And as you can see from these amazing photographs on screen, their work is truly, truly impressive. It was great to see how a small group of photographers motivated and inspired thousands and thousands of fans and followers to start new projects and to share their latest techniques. So thank you to everyone who participated for creating some truly remarkable work. Let's give them all a hand. And now let's consider quickly another aspect of creating impactful experiences, and that's connection. Today, companies compete more on the overall experience than they do on technology, on product, or price. Modern, successful businesses realize that the best way to connect with customers is through a consistent, compelling, and personalized experience across a broad range of channels. And the number of connection points continue to grow every day, whether it's desktop, phone, new social channels, the retail store. Businesses need to create experiences that tell a story, not just deliver a product, but truly tell a story. And that story should make consumers believe in that particular company or product and compel them literally to buy into it or to buy it. Who are the people who achieve that kind of compelling, impactful experience? It's you in the room. It's designers, of course. Design used to be an afterthought. Designers were brought in to help market a product or polish up a website right before the product was launched. And now designers have a true seat at the table, right alongside engineering, marketing, and sales. They are integral to how a company connects with the world. And this is especially true of user experience design, who are in incredible demand right now. A recent study that we conducted at Adobe showed that 87% of hiring managers in key product and engineering and marketing roles said that finding top quality user experience designers is a high priority for them. So that ties user experience designers with software engineers in our industry, anyway, as the most sought after professionals in this modern economy. And that's why we're so excited to partner with the community on the development of our new experience design platform, Adobe XD. Adobe XD allows people to design, prototype, and share websites, mobile apps, and any kind of digital experience, and that's all built into one application. We recently introduced a free starter version of Adobe XD, and our goal was to encourage as many people as possible to jump into the field of experience design, because we're convinced that this is really the next big step for design careers and one of the biggest areas of opportunity for emerging designers to have an impact. We're thrilled that so many of our customers, including top designers and progressive brands, are adopting Adobe XD to develop their websites and apps with beautiful results. So customers like Fairfax Media, Air New Zealand, Microsoft, Sonos, Boosted Boards, and Equinox are just a few examples. There's also the Fjord Agency, part of the Accenture Interactive Group here in Sydney. They've leveraged XD in their work designing for human impact. Fjord is a design and innovation consultancy that is reimagining people's relationship between the digital and the physical world. A little bit later today, we'll be hearing from Prue Jones on Fjord's Good Return project in Cambodia on how they're actually creating experiences that truly connect. I know that UX design is still a new area for many designers and many of you. So I'd like to invite one of my favorite designers turned product manager, Cisco Guzman, who's product manager on Adobe XD, to come up and talk about his own personal journey with design and to give you a quick demo of this powerful and ever-evolving design tool. Cisco?
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Bryan. In 1992, my work-study job in college had me sitting in front of a computer for many hours every day. On the desktop of this Macintosh Quadra were the Illustrator, Photoshop, and PageMaker icons. I didn't know this at the time when I was bored one afternoon, but double-clicking on that Photoshop icon completely changed the course of my life. Over time, I taught myself how to design, how to take something that only my mind could see and bring it into the world, to solve problems using predominantly Adobe tools. And so I got my design chops and learned the craft of offset lithography, while learning the ropes of product management as well. Then the late 90s happened, and everyone wanted two things: to be a DJ and to have a website. Remember that? Remember those? And so we did what designers do. We got resourceful. We used the tools we had and a creative process that we knew and understood. Fast forward to today. Digital experiences are all around us, and they're changing every single day. And the velocity, the constraints, and the number of inputs that we actually design with can feel daunting at times. So as designers, how do we keep up? XD helps you design at the speed of thought. With XD, you can design, prototype, and share all in one place. Imagine not having to interrupt your creative flow to hop between applications. So let's hop into XD. Oh, look, we were already in there. What you're looking at is a design that one customer, Boosted, shared with us of how they use XD to create their customer experiences. Now, in design mode, you can create rich artboards that put your design front and center, not XD's UI, with tools that have been purpose-built, like Repeat Grid. And with a single click, you can go into prototype mode, which essentially allows you to add transitions and interactions that bring your story to life. And then, finally, again, without ever leaving XD, you can create an interactive prototype, send it to the web, and allow everyone that you work with to contribute. XD lets you share without the scare. And you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes sharing can feel like it makes things harder, even though our work benefits from it. And so what you can do with a shared prototype is to have important conversations where they matter most in the context of your design. XD makes it easy for you to validate with customers, to get buy-in from your stakeholders, and ultimately to create a forum where everyone gets to feel and see themselves as a part of the product. And finally, also from within the same sharing pop-up, you can move towards getting your experience built by publishing a design spec. A design spec is plain and simply a secure, web-based workspace where developers can actually where you can hand things off to your developers, giving them a sense of your overall flow and giving them the ability to inspect the artboards and the different elements and styles that they actually need in order to create the experience. Design at the speed of thought also means having a tool that you never have to slow down for. So with XD, you can actually inspect the crisp detail of a single artboard or zoom out for a bird's eye view of 1500, all without waiting for XD to catch up. XD is the end-to-end solution for collaborative experience design. I believe that Adobe loves the creative mind more than any other company on earth. I also know that XD and Adobe wouldn't be here without you. Because of that, we want you to be able to focus on the things that made you want to become designers to begin with. In just a little bit, I'll be back to show you more of how XD can help you do that.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Cisco. Adobe, as Cisco said, Adobe would be nothing without the support of the creative community. We're releasing new versions of XD every month and constantly incorporating the feedback that we get from all of you. It's very important for us to have the support of this community. And it's also important for us to support the community in return. We recently launched the Adobe Fund for Design, where we will award $10 million in investments and grants for developers who create extensions and add-ons to the Creative Cloud. So if you have a great idea that you think will help designers work in more connected and more efficient ways, we encourage you to apply for a grant. You can find all the information at this URL online. Finally, I'd like to spend a few minutes talking about the future. As experience makers, you are constantly pushing the limits of creativity and storytelling. And we are inspired by your desire to try new mediums. And we're committed to building out the platforms that you will need to create tomorrow's art and design. So let's look at how Adobe is defining the future of creativity and authoring in these emerging mediums. Earlier, I talked a little bit about Adobe Sensei and how we're using artificial intelligence and machine learning to deliver great experiences at scale. Today, Adobe Sensei powers hundreds of features across our clouds, and there are many more innovations on the way every week. To quote our CEO, Shantanu Narayan, machine learning is going to change every single aspect of technology, but no machine will be able to mimic the creativity of the human mind. You see, at Adobe, we firmly believe that the machine learning and AI will not replace human creativity, but rather it will augment it and help accelerate what's possible from a creative standpoint. An intelligent creative assistant can perform many of the most laborious and time-consuming tasks. This will help you spend more time on higher-level activities that will help you differentiate your creative work. Next, let's think about the growing role that voice interfaces will play in the future. Whether it's choosing music, setting reminders, or even asking for advice, people are increasingly relying on voice interfaces to navigate daily life. In fact, analysts predict that by 2020, more than 70 million US households will have at least one smart speaker in their homes, including the White House in the US. Okay, that was a joke. We're moving beyond the keyboard, the mouse, and even touch screens to interact with technology in more natural ways. And voice is going to be at the very center of that shift. Voice has particular implications for design. To deliver compelling experiences in the future, you'll need to create a voice interface that is both effective and intuitive. So voice technology is advancing very quickly, and it will become an integral part of Adobe's product portfolio. Another area that we're really excited about is augmented reality, which is driving the next wave of creativity and storytelling. We know that immersive media, in general, will change the way that we work, the way that we learn, the way that we play, and will expand digital experiences beyond the screen to the world around us. Our Chief Technology Officer, Abhay Parasnis, was recently on stage at the Apple Worldwide Developer Conference, where he announced our new augmented reality platform, Project Aero. Project Aero will make it even easier for designers and developers to come together and create immersive content and bridge the gap between the physical and digital worlds. Aero allows you to create AR content using the creative tools that you already use every day and that you know and love, like Photoshop CC and Dimension CC. And for the first time, you'll be able to lay out and manipulate designs in three-dimensional space, making AR creation more fluid and more intuitive. And all that technical complexity is handled by Adobe Sensei. I'd like to now play a short video that will give you a little bit of an introduction to Project Aero. Let's go ahead and roll the video. Thank you. Hopefully that gives you a sense of the role that we anticipate playing in the field of augmented reality. We'll be sharing a lot more about Project Aero at the Adobe Max conference in October over in California. In the meantime, I'd like to introduce one more artist who is actually embracing this platform. Estelle C. is a California-based immersive media artist who was part of the Adobe Creative Residency Program, where we invite a dozen of creative artists to come and spend a half year with Adobe. And she's actually here in Sydney this week at the Symposium. Like many new media artists, Estelle has a traditional art and design background, but is focused now on the intersection of technology and art. Estelle used an early version of Project Aero to create this work for the Festival of the Impossible in San Francisco. So keep an eye out for her here at Symposium and follow her on Instagram. In the meantime, now that I've got you all worked up about augmented reality, I'd like to also encourage you to explore another area of immersive media, virtual reality. We actually have a booth here at the Symposium, so make sure to check out the VR Experience Zone at Symposium this week. Get your hands on that. I'd like to close by thanking you both for joining me here today and for your continued ingenuity, imagination, and commitment to creativity. All of you, the people in this room, and the collective creative community are an undeniable force that inspires us all at Adobe. Your aspirations have motivated us, our work, and will push us even further with the next wave of innovation. So thank you very much.